Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Let us know where you're joining from when you come in. You can let us know in the chat. Florida, Michigan, Memphis, Tennessee, Louisiana. Yay, Oklahoma. Awesome. The Philippines. Wow, nice. So cool. Just all over the place, aren't we? That's great. All right, very good. I'm gonna just wait another minute or so. Kathy is from Trinidad. Amazing. All right, thank you all for being here. Super excited to have you all for webinar number 5. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. And I'm going to get started to just introducing our, oh, okay, perfect. Just an AI note taker in there. Wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. All right. So I'm just going to get started by introducing myself and our coaches who are here today and the webinar. So a couple of just kind of housekeeping things. One thing to note is that you can chat in the chat box with us. It will just come to us as the panelists. It does not go to everyone, but we will see your chat. So if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in there and we will see them. And then we also have the Q&A open. So if you have questions, you can pop those in the Q&A and we will work on collecting those, kind of deciding when to address them. We'll probably get to most of them at the very end. So the last 15 minutes of our session today. So that is when we'll do some Q&A time. So thank you guys so much for being here. We're very excited to share with you. My name is Katie Colby. I am the community coordinator for Classkick. That means I do a lot of teacher-facing things. So things like this, things like webinars, PDs, the coach program. I run the coach program of coaches who love Classkick and want to share it. So super excited to be here and sharing with you guys. Classkick, if you haven't heard of Classkick before, maybe it's new to you. Classkick is an interactive digital tool that teachers use in their classrooms with their students that allows the teacher to see their students working in real time and give feedback in real time as well. Students can give their understanding of concepts and topics in a bunch of different ways, a multitude of ways with audio tool and typing and drawing and all sorts of great fun things. And teachers can make it super interactive for their students as well. So teachers really, really love it when they start using it. So we're excited to share with you today. Our topic today for webinar number 5, this is the 5th in a series of 6 webinars. So next week will be our last one. But our topic today is continue to make every lesson count, engaging no prep activities for the end of the year. We have 2 coaches with us that are going to present on this topic. We have Savannah Creasman and Shacy Perez. And I'm super excited to introduce them to you. They can go ahead and tell you a little bit more about themselves and then talk a little bit about this awesome tool and how they use it for summer activities.
Okay, I'll introduce myself first. My name's Savannah Creasman, and I'm from the North Carolina, if anyone else is. But I've been using Classkick for, I think, like 6 years, maybe a little bit longer. But I use it in the elementary age, so like K2 area. And I think a lot of times teachers are very hesitant in those grades to use stuff like this, but they have no idea what Classkick can do. And I look forward to sharing with you some AI stuff after Shacy does some of her really cool things that she has to show you too.
Hi, I'm Shacy Perez. I teach math virtually in Oklahoma for Epic Charter Schools, and this year I'm teaching 8th grade, but our program covers next year will be 5th through high school, all the way up to pre-calc. So I have several things to show you, some end of the year games that we're using actually this week with our students, as well as how to use the AI Student Helper, which is amazing. You ready for me to start, Katie?
Yep,
Okay,
go. Yeah, you're good.
got it. Let me get my screen shared here.
Awesome.
So for these will be shared by Katie sometime at the end. These two games that I'm going to show you guys, my awesome teammates have created them. The first one that we actually did in class today is the Jeopardy game. And so it is set up where we have a question. It's worth so many points. We have an answer box, and I've changed mine up a little bit. I put the answer down here, but I have a cover on it. That way I can keep the answer covered until I'm ready to show it to my students. A couple of different ways you can do it. Since I teach virtually, I ended up putting my students in breakout rooms in small groups, and I let them work together to see who could answer the question. I didn't really have them compete as far as like, oh, you get 100 points, you get 100 points on the different teams. But it was really unique to put my kids in breakout rooms today and let them work on it individually. Obviously, if you are in a brick and mortar, you could have this up on your whiteboard screen and you could have your teams and they could choose which category they want. You can see at the top, we have like properties and vocab questions. Let me show you another one. Here's another one. And then if you keep going through, we changed numbers and operations. We have some data in there. And you can let them choose which question type and how many points. And then you can give them the opportunity to work it out, give their answer, and then you score points or not. For mine, I just put them in the breakout rooms and I had so many good conversations with my students today. And I didn't even have to say a word. They just talked to each other and they were so excited to talk to each other in the chat, to get to unmute and talk about the different math questions. And hey, I got A on number 5. What did you guys get? And then they could talk through it if somebody was wrong. And so this was our lesson that we did today. And here's kind of what it looked like. You can see I have all the points off. I didn't actually fill in the answer boxes because sometimes our little middle schoolers just click buttons until they figure out if it's A, B, C, or D. So sometimes we leave our points turned off so that they can't do that. And they just came in here and typed in their answer. And then later, I will remove this and they can check themselves, or I could go in and check them and give them stickers. We love stickers at Classkick. The other one that we're going to be doing this week is called the Unfair Game, which is this one here. It's another review game for the end of year. We're taking our final next week, so we're trying to really review everything that we've covered the entire year. We kind of do spiraling, so this is just a fun way to spiral a little bit more. But for it, you have teams again, and they take turns answering questions. The second slide gives you all of the information on how to do it, all the rules for the game. And then you have pick the card. So there is a shuffler here where you can just click on the link and it gives you a deck of cards because we're virtual. So I can't just pull out my deck of cards and let kids pick. But if I were in a regular classroom, I would absolutely have my own deck of cards out so that they could come up and pick a card. And each card is worth so many points. And then to the funnest part, the AI student helper. So first I'm going to show you how to turn it on once you get that pro access to it. It's like a magical shiny button, and I showed my team last week, and it's the best AI helper for students. It's way better than like the Chat GPT and the different ones. It will not give students answers, which is like key for me, especially in math, because sometimes they just take a picture and it says X is 5. And that's not what we want. We want them to figure out why X is 5 or how to get X is 5. So for a new assignment, I used my unfair game here. Once you assign it to a roster, you can go in and view the work. And up here in this nice right-hand corner, you see the student helper and you can check the box. It takes sometimes a minute or two, maybe 3, depending on how many slides that you have in your lesson to analyze it. And so as it's analyzing, I also have these little instructions here. It's going to tell you at the bottom when it's complete. So when it was analyzed. So if you analyze it early and then you realize, oh, I need to add a couple more slides in later, you can have it reanalyze it a little bit later and it'll tell you the updated time. And the good thing about this is I teach 3 classes on Tuesday and Thursday. And so I have 3 different rosters and I turn it on for each one and it's already analyzed because it's the same assignment. So no matter how many rosters you have in there, it only has to analyze it the one time unless you do any updates to the actual lesson. So that part is nice. Then let's see if it's done. Still analyzing. And you can see here, it started 1 minute ago. So let me show you, while we wait for it to analyze, kind of what happens next. Wonder if I can make this any bigger. Full screen, maybe. That helped a little. Let me zoom in a little more. There we go. Okay, so once it is active and it's analyzed, your students will go just like they do when they need help from you, and they'll go to the hand button. See how this little cool kind of rainbowy color pops up now? Once they have this AI helper ready to go, it will now give them the choice help from AI. So instead of choosing please help for helping with your teacher, you can choose help from AI. And then this one right here is what your student sees. It says click where you need help. So whatever slide they're on, they're going to click it. It pops up the chat box in the side just like it does if you're the one helping them. And they're asking you questions in the chat, or if they're just raising their hand and you're responding back to them in the chat. And um, once they get started, then here are some sample responses and questions that my students used. We did a project-based learning assignment last week. Actually, we did it the last 2 weeks. And it was over buying their first car. And so we talked about a lot of interest, principal, and the rate and things like that. And so here are some examples that my students put in here. And so they would ask a question, and then the AI helper is in the pretty rainbowy color one. So it says do option principal minus, this was our down payment, $2,000. What do you get? So it doesn't even calculate it for them. It makes them do the math part, and it will even tell them this is how you actually calculate it. So even for your little guys that are still learning how to add and subtract, my kids get to use calculators, so it's not quite as difficult, but the AI will tell you, hey, this is how you set it up to subtract it, or this is how you set it up to add it, and it won't actually add it for you. So I love that. And then here's one. Let me see if I can find it. Right here, my student said, give me the answer. You know they're all going to try that at least one time. And guess what AI says? I can't give answers, but if you'll calculate this and tell me the results, then we can go from there. And another thing that I really loved in math, sometimes it's hard to bring in the vocabulary, but the AI actually said P equals principal and I equals interest. What is your rate? And so it talked in a lot of math terminology, which I absolutely loved because that's a really hard concept for a lot of kiddos. Let's see, I bet it's analyzed now. Okay, now that it's analyzed, oh man, I quit clicking so many times. Now it shows you when it was completed. And so anytime a student clicks in, they'll have that option. I should have done a few. This is my own self. To click that hand and see it in the Help Center. And the nice thing about it too is that everything they put in, whether it's to you or to the AI tool, or if you kind of enter in there also, it always stays on the slide. So like if they're on slide 2 typing in all the things, anytime you pop on their slide 2, you can see exactly what they've asked. That is really great for needing to look back at like where is your student getting lost, and you can go, oh, here's where they're using the wrong amount for the principal. So I really like that as well. I think I can click, let me see. I don't know if I have anybody that used it on this lesson. Probably not, because we work together. Okay, I think that's all I have to show.
Okay. So I did notice a couple questions. I'll go ahead and say if people are wondering if they can get access to the beta mode, yes, after the webinar, we will get you guys that so you can kind of play along with it too. Um, Okay, so I have two things I'm going to share with you guys, a little bit about using the AI Create for your lessons and just some other like end of year fun things to do with students. And I always get a little nervous, not gonna lie, showing AI because you just never can quite plan exactly what is going to happen. But that's okay. It's going to be fun. And I'm going to start with just an idea that I like. And I think it's great for any ages. I think we often tend to just do stations for young elementary kids, but it's great for all kids and all kinds of things. So I'm going to share my screen in just a second here. I always say that. People are like, just share it. Okay, let's see. It's been a while since I shared my screen on here. Here we go. Share. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to this little math station one I have end of the year. And what I want to point out to you that, of course, we have all these different things you can do, but what to not forget about. So you can upload videos that you've learned or that you've worked with and make this kind of self-paced. You can also add a timer, and this is something I feel like is really great for the end of the year because we really want kids to participate, and that can like increase that engagement. So participation versus content. Sometimes you're trying to do fun things at the end of the year. So for a station by using Classkick, you could have one big Classkick with everything in it. You could link to other things throughout it. You could put students in pairs, in groups. I just wanted to give you like some ideas. This is a game that they would play. This links to a different assignment outside of this Classkick. So maybe you want your answers to be turned on at this assignment. And this is just one I pulled out of our assignment bank, which I'll talk about some more in a little bit. But you want um, you want students to really like be engaging with the material at this time of the year. So at the end of the year, just especially after like a lot of those important things are done, drawing on the screen, doing different types of challenges. Let's see. This is just showing like a drag and drop kind of activity. So I just wanted to keep in mind, links, videos, all those things that you can put into your class kit can be used as a station, and you can like plan a whole day's worth of stations just in one class kick. So just an idea, a fun idea. I love doing these in my class, and my students have always loved them. And sometimes I throw in like slides, just copy and paste in slides that we've done for the review. They've seen it before, so it's just an overall good review of everything, and it's easier for me to create. And sometimes I have even had first graders like tell me like what should we include in today's review. If you're an elementary school, if you're a primary school teacher, you know that our tests and assessments usually finish early, and so we have a little bit of time before the rest of the EOGs get done, and so it's just fun to include them on the learning. And Classkick is so good for that because I don't have to plan copies ahead of time. Like I can be like, all right, let's make our lesson together, and they're way more engaged. Okay, that's just really showing how much I love Classkick, but let's do some AI work. So I'm going to move my little toolbar over. Let's just go over here. This is another one. I'm going to go over here to create, and we're going to create new. Um, okay, the first thing I want to show you guys, I was okay, we're gonna upload something. Okay, let me just tell you about what this is. So AI Create is basically your Gemini, your ChatGPT for all Classkick assignments. I will say I think the detailed the best, the more detailed the best. Um, I do love giving a standard, an objective, what grade are you, all those things, including that in your prompt. I actually wanted to show you, you can see where I've kind of already started. How to take a fluency passage and how it just immediately generates questions for that. I also tried to have it remake it into a different level of a passage. Now, with all AI tools, you kind of have to play with it. And I didn't have the best luck at that. However, the questions were incredible. So, I was going to show you that, but I think that that could be something, that you work towards that you could build on with this Classkick AI Create. But I want to show you how it will do questions. So I'm going to upload a little fluency watermelon passage here. Okay. And then up here it has like fluency. And then it's going to ask you some questions. So go to next. Um, let's just say I want some second grade questions, so really challenge them. How much time will students have for the assignment? 15 minutes. Here's your options. Quite a few options. And then if you have a curriculum that you want it based on, you can click that here, which I think is really awesome. If you don't have it, you can say other. We'll just click other. This says, are there any specific type of practice you want this assignment to have? So maybe you want it to be a lot of questions or a discussion. We're going to go with many questions because I just want to find some reading comprehension questions. And this says, anything else you want to consider for this activity? Um, I think it saved what I was practicing earlier. So descriptive words, meaning, yeah, I like that. All right, so then it's going to have me review what I selected, which as a guideline, this is awesome. I think it really helps make sure you don't miss anything. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Looks good. Now it's happening. So you can upload while this is going any kind of assignment or like a PNG, PDF into the AI Create um, to help. In just a minute, I'm gonna, oh, look, it's coming up. Okay, so from here, you can kind of review things. You don't see all the details on this like preview. Um, but if you're thinking that's what you want, you can create the assignment, or you can go over here and make some changes. So maybe you are like, can we change it to some more like critical thinking questions, that kind of thing. You could add that here. But let's just create it and see what we got. And Katie or Shacey, if you have anything you want to add while I do this, just let me know. It's coming. And I have played around with like changing things too, and it does work very well. Okay, yay, here we go. So it always gives the first page is always kind of like, here's what we got for you. Gives a little image. It says, read the story aloud to practice fluency. And then, let's see. I think it put in the whole, let's see. Oh, okay. So this would probably be where we would need to put in the passage ourselves, but it's giving me questions. It looks like they're already auto-graded. So I would just put in the passage at the beginning, probably. So yeah. I wonder what it's saying for this one. Okay, I guess you guys can see this. So over here, it put that red and juicy was the answer. I'm not quite seeing a question, but um, as all AI, you got to kind of play with it. And I do feel like that I could go somewhere with this. Like I have an idea of where I can go. I have more questions over here. So I think this is where I would put my whole story. Okay. I feel like I should pause for questions, but I'm just gonna keep going.
I'm going to just quickly mention something, Savannah, that you
Yes.
said that there's some things that you might notice about the AI that maybe don't do exactly what you want. And that's something that we want teachers to let us know because it is currently in beta mode. And so that means we're working out all the kinks. We want to make sure it's really useful for teachers. So when you get access to this, if you do give it a try for your students, I would love to have you let us know. So just you can email support@classkick.com. You can email me directly, Katie at Classkick. It's spelled weird. It's Kaity. But that is how you can let us know how the AI is working for you, what you love about it, and maybe things that you want to see improved. That's really great for our team.
Thanks for adding that. I
Yes.
also, if you have a Facebook and you're not on our Facebook Classkick group, you can reach out there as well. Okay, so let's do a little more playing around. Time check. We're good. Okay, I'm gonna go back here to, let's see if it'll take me back to my create new. And we're gonna go to the library. Um, a while back, you could kind of submit things that you've created as a Classkick user to the library, and now we've kind of revamped that all, the coaches, and Katie has worked a ton on that. So there's a lot of cool things in here if you haven't used the library, and I thought that I would kind of scroll and pick one with you. Sure, let's do this. Math add within 100. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually download this assignment as a PDF and upload it into the AI Create and see what it will give me. And I want to make this like for a third grade. We'll just go up to the third grade. So let's see. I'm going to copy it in here. So it should pop up in my not so organized. Come on. There it is. Add within 100. Okay. At the three dots in the top right, I'm going to export slides to a PDF. It does take just a minute. But this is very helpful for a lot of things in Classkick. Side note, so if you're wanting to, maybe a student was absent and their parent asking for work and they don't want anything digital, you can print your lesson off that way. Maybe you want to have students' answers printed out, or maybe they posted a picture of something and you want to print that out. So that's a good way to export everything to one PDF. All right, now that's here, I'm going to close that because it's in my downloads. And we're going to go back to AI Create. So hang on with me. Also, just to know, if you choose to participate in the beta of the AI, you'll have a little star here, a little flash, and that's how you know you're in the beta trial. Okay, assignment create, and we're going to upload something new, and this will go away at the top. I think this is it. Okay. So automatically it kind of puts in the description, which is really nice. You cannot change it from here, so that's why the questions that they ask next are really important. So I've got add within 100. In a little bit, I'm going to ask it to change to 1,000. So I'm going to go third grade. That looks good. Let's just do mini questions. Is there anything else to consider? I love how what this has on here already, but I am just going to add create problems for um, let's do create higher level. Sorry. Create I kind of want to change the it was 200 or 1,000. Now I'm forgetting. It was 200. I want to make it to 1,000. Okay. Change to we'll see what happens. I just want to do something simple so we could play with it. Okay. So right now, so far, I'm seeing it says third grade edition practice within 100. So that is if that's what it does, then I'm going to go over here and change it to 1,000. I did play around with some of my own assignments in this though, and I asked for it to change it to different things and make a different one with different numbers, and it would kind of do that. So it would take the same standards and the same everything that I had and just made a whole new assignment. So it was like, I make a Monday assignment. Oh, let's make another one for Tuesday. Okay, I'm still seeing 100 right here. So I'm gonna go over here and say, can you make this addition practice within, can you make this addition practice within 1,000? Okay. So it said it will be adjusted to focus on addition within 1,000 instead of 100. I'm noticing that it's pink again. I guess it knows me and I like pink. It's not always pink. Okay. Let's see. It still says 100 right here, but I have a feeling it changed it. If you guys do play around with this and find some really cool things about the AI Create, I would love to know. I think it would be really fun seeing that. You can reach out in the Facebook group or let us know. Okay, so let's see. My title up here says it is within 1,000 now. Looking over here, got some hundreds and some thousands. Okay. So of course I'd want to add some stuff, maybe some manipulatives or maybe more space for them to solve. But if you have trouble getting started like me, once I get going, I can get on a roll. But once it takes me a minute to get started. So this is super helpful. Here we go. We did get bigger. It says a challenge, add with regrouping. I like that as a challenge. All right. Let's see. I think kind of that's the gist. Okay, sorry, I'm kind of struggling with this one. There's just so much to it that I'm still even kind of learning myself. But I hope that's enough, and I'm willing to answer any questions. I'm sure I got off track a little.
Great. That was a super helpful, like quick tutorial on it. So that was awesome. I love it. All right. If we have any questions in the chat or the Q&A, we can go ahead and answer those. Somebody asked here, do we know when AI features will be available? We are intending for them to be available to like more widely available to everyone in the fall. That is our plan, our expectation. But if it's something that you're interested in, what we're going to do is ask for you guys to let us know if you want these. That way we're not just turning it on for everyone, because might be some people who just don't need that right now, right? They don't want it, so we're not going to turn it on for everybody. But if it's something that you would like, if you could send an email to me, that would actually be great. I'm going to put my email address here because then I can put in your email address. Just make sure that you are sending an email to me from your Classkick account email address, because then I'll just take that email and we'll turn it on for you. What we're going to do right now is turn on the student helper at this time for anyone who's interested. So my email address is there in the chat. So anyone who's interested, we'll go ahead and turn that on after you email me. And then anyone who's interested in the assignment create, please let me know if you're also interested in that. It might not be one that we turn on right away, but hopefully soon here that one would be added in for you. Awesome. I see an email address already here. Great. Yeah. Do pro users have assignment create automatically? As of right now, no. It's kind of going in batches right now. So we're just kind of turning it on randomly to see if people are using it, and then also strategically for people who actually want to try it and give us feedback. So some of you might already have it, some of you might not yet. But if you want it, go ahead and put your email either in the chat. I can take it in the chat, or I can take it into my email. You can put it in my email as well. All right. I'm going to also post our survey here. So let me go ahead and post that for you. Here's the link to our survey. Please go ahead and fill that out because this just kind of helps us see what was helpful for you in the webinar, what we can do to make it even better for you, and just gives us that feedback. So please go ahead and click that link before you go and give us some feedback. That would be awesome. And then if you have any questions, we can still be here for a little while. So awesome. Okay, I'm putting all of these emails into a doc so I can get all those emails, get it turned on for you. And then if you're watching the replay, you are also welcome to email me. Hopefully you can see the chat and see my email in there. But it's Katie, Kaity, @classkick.com. So you can email me and let me know if you want me to turn that on for you. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these emails in there. But we're also keeping an eye on the chat just in case there's any other questions before we go. The link is not working. Okay, let me find the link again. Hang on one second. I might have to do a longer link for it to work, so bear with me. Let me grab that. Oh, it might be you have to copy paste it, but here is a longer link. This one might work better. There you go. That's clickable. So you should be able to do that.
One thing I did forget to mention on the things I talked about if you like to share what other students' work was or questions in the student helper, even when you turn on the anonymous feature, which is the hide student names button, in the chat part, it still will show your student's name. So be
Uh,
very cautious on that one. I don't know if that's something that the developer people can fix, but currently it still does show the student name in the chat section. So like the documents that I was showing earlier, I blacked out my students' names so that you guys couldn't see those. But just beware because I pulled it up and I was fully planning to show you guys that I realized it doesn't change the name in the chat part. So I was like, well, guess I can't show that one today. But I did. I don't know, Katie, are you sending out that doc or something with those screenshots I put in there, for
yes,
example? Okay.
yes. Our little like freebie that you'll get in the follow-up email has some screenshots of kind of how to get started with those. Yep. Great question. Someone is asking about paying for Classkick. So there are some features in Classkick that are paid in the subscription options, and there's some features that are not. They're in like the basic. The beta, right as of right now, I believe is only available for pro users, but I will double check on that. If it's not only available for pro users, I can turn it on for basic as well, but I'm not totally sure on that. So let me double check. I'll leave myself a note here. There might be a little trial for basic users actually. I'll double check that. Awesome. Yes, thank you, Amanda, for joining. And then I'm actually going to put this in here too, this link just for whoever, somebody that asked about the pro features. I'm going to send this link here just in case you're interested. And you can copy, let me copy it from Chrome so you can get the clickable link. But this is the link where you can order the pro version of Classkick if that's something that you would like. Go ahead and just paste it in there in case anyone wants it. There we go. I think that one's clickable. Awesome. Okay. Yep. I see somebody is interested in having their school pay for it, maybe a school license. That's a great idea. I'll go ahead and send you an email about that. I see your email right here. Perfect. Any other questions? Deborah, did the link work for you? I saw in the chat or in the um, question and answer that it wasn't working. So I just want, okay, perfect. Good. It's working now. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. We super appreciate it. We're happy to stay on a couple minutes just in case any other questions come up. Just a reminder to complete that form before you log off today. Yes, Deborah, you're very welcome. So glad it was helpful. Yes, I love it. Okay, somebody says Classkick is a really awesome tool. Yes, I agree. How long after we email you do we receive the AI abilities? I'd love to try this with my students before the year is over. Yeah, we'll get that done this week for sure. We'll get that turned on. At least for sure the student helper. I don't know if both will be turned on, but student helper definitely. Yes, you're very welcome. Leave a little teacher wait time, right? We're all used to that.
Someone told me that 8 seconds was the like when you would need to, but sometimes that feels so long. I'm like,
It does, yeah.
Like, did you understand my question?
What do I need to clarify? Yeah. Awesome. All right. I think we'll probably go ahead and stop there since I don't see any other chat or any other questions. I see someone who said that they used Classkick a long time ago, but stopped for some time. And I'm so excited to know now we can use AI to create. Love that. And then looking forward to trying the new AI helper tool from Kathy. Awesome.
It's
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah. So excited
I'm
for
so impressed. I've used it twice and I'm so impressed. I had my kids try to break it. It was fun. They
you.
had,
That's a good
they
idea.
did. And I
Claire.
asked for feedback from them and they were like, it made it so easy to understand when I didn't know how to do a problem because it broke it down so well. And I was like,
That's awesome. Somebody's asking if you can use it in Chinese. I believe it does work in different languages. I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive about languages like Chinese with different characters, but I do know I'm pretty sure that it can work in for sure ones with the Latin characters like English. But I think it might work with other characters as well. So I believe you can. Something to play around with and try when you get it for sure.
Shakespeare,
Anyways,
I have a question.
yeah.
I was wondering if it was it gave you the option to like when the person was helping you, the AI was helping you, would they record it or say it out loud or do they have to be able to read it? Does that make sense?
That is something that I think that they're working on now is to try and build that in, especially for the littles. I know you're coming with those littles in mind. Yeah. Same with the chat. We want to make it accessible for the littles to be able to listen instead of having to read it. So it's something they're working on now to try and incorporate. Yeah, we want that accessible.
my one that is on a lower reading level, he uses the Read and Write app, and it would read
Oh, there you
the
go.
prompts for him. But he does like the text to speech back to it. So he did find a way to still make it work, even though it's not built within Classkick yet.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Good. I'm glad he's able
But
to.
he's an eighth grader, so he's a little more like he knows what to push than maybe your little people do. Maybe you could train them.
Yeah, probably used it enough to know how
Hmm.
to do that. But yeah, that is something that they're very aware of and want to make it accessible.
I'm just gonna add something. So,
Yeah.
coach, I'm not like employed with Classkick, and I've, have had lots of communication with them, and they really want what's best for the teachers, and they really want to fix something if we have any feedback. So, don't be
Yes.
afraid to give feedback, and they want it from teachers that are actually using it, and for me as a user, that means a lot. It's not just like some program that people are trying to make money off of. Like I'm going on my soapbox here, but it's truly a program that is to benefit all students, all ages, and to really boost engagement. So I don't know. I just like if you do want them to like figure out something for you, or you have an idea, they're open to that. I think that is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
I agree
so
with you. That's great. Awesome. Any last minute questions? One of the great things about Classkick is that a lot of our team is former teachers. So we know where you're coming from. Even our CEO and the inventor of Classkick is a former teacher. So he's always really like thinking about teachers and what making sure that Classkick is what teachers need, which I love. All right, awesome. We'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you all so much for attending, and we hope to see you back next week for our last session. Thank you all, and thank you to our coaches for presenting today.
mhm,
Bye,
thank you.
everybody. Oh, I'm going to answer Natalie's question really quick. She asked, I have the pro version. When can I start using AI features? I will get those turned on for you. If you can give me your email address, I might already have it if you sent it in the chat. If not, you can send it to me via email. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.